6:00 p.m.
Hello and welcome to the What's Up London show. I'm your host, Melissa Maloney, and as always, I'm so excited to be with you today and to share the stories of the amazing things happening in London. We have a great show in store for you today, honoring incredible local contributors, authors, and artists. You will definitely be inspired after today. Our first guest is a local entrepreneur that has created a new medical device that is changing the world of prosthetics. Let's find out more from Sydney Robinson, the CEO and co-founder of Vessl. Welcome, Sydney.
Thank you so much for having me.
Super excited to have you here today.
Very excited to be here.
So I feel like we need to start a little bit about how Vessl came to be, because I feel like I was lucky enough to be there from day one.
Yes. Yeah, truly from the pre-inception of the company.
That's right.
Which is pretty crazy.
So why don't you tell us a bit about Vessl?
For sure. So we started, as you alluded to, at a program called the Medical Innovation Fellowship, which is a program at Western University. It's modeled after Stanford's biodesign. So it brings engineers, PhD scientists, and doctors together to innovate in the medical space. And the easiest way to learn about how to innovate and how to commercialize a new product is to find a problem and try and solve it. And so what we did was we interviewed over 60 clinicians, from brain surgeons to heart surgeons and everywhere in between. And one of the doctors who we shadowed was a doctor at a diabetes clinic in Hamilton. And diabetes is actually the leading cause of leg amputation.
Okay.
So while we were there, we met a lot of people that had a leg amputation, and they were all in the clinic because their leg would change size inside of their prosthetic socket, so the cup that holds onto the leg and connects them to the rest of the prosthesis. And the socket didn't change size. So you have this changing thing inside of a non-changing thing. And just like if you wear shoes that don't fit, you can get chafing and blisters. But for people with leg amputations, then they can't wear their leg, and those blisters can get infected and even lead to another amputation. So we became very passionate about solving that problem.
Amazing. And so this is?
Isoform.
Nice.
Yes. So Isoform is technically what we're calling the adaptive volume management system, which is a very long way of just saying it can adjust the size of the socket so that as an amputee's leg is changing size, so is the device.
Amazing. So I know a little bit about this because we've talked about it. And so I think what would be neat for people to understand is just a little bit more sort of about the problem that you are solving, because this is something that is really common, which I didn't know, in people who have prosthetics in terms of the size changing and what happens with that. So do you want to maybe talk about what that looks like normally for people pre this?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So right now the gold standard is a static socket. So it's a socket similar to this one. It's custom fabricated to your leg. So imagine breaking your leg and you get a cast. Similar concept.
Okay.
So they'll cast the leg and they'll make a custom mold and then mold carbon fiber or plastic around that so that it's specific to your leg, which is amazing.
Yes.
Except if you exercise or your diet changes or you eat too much pizza the night before, or your weight fluctuates or anything happens or the seasons change.
Or it's humid.
Then your limbs are swelling and shrinking. And that happens to us on a daily basis, but for folks that are living with limb loss and limb difference, it affects them a lot more. And so what they do right now is, no matter where they are, they will take their socket off, take their leg off, put a sock on, and put the leg back on. So the easiest way to think about it is like if you bought running shoes that were too big and you just put 3 pairs of socks on first.
Yeah.
It's a similar concept, but you're making those changes throughout the day, which is frustrating and very inconvenient.
Definitely. And so what's the difference with Isoform?
So with Isoform, you don't have to do anything, is the biggest difference. So for people that are living with limb loss and limb difference, it's just a complete relief of mental burden and a much easier user experience. And so what happens, the way that it works, is it's using every step that someone takes to adjust its size. So there's a shock absorber in here, which, as the name would suggest, absorbs the shock of the step. And it's using that to tighten cables that are running through these custom panels. And those cables will then pull the panels in and tighten on the leg. So if the leg doesn't change size, nothing happens. But if the leg is shrinking, which we see throughout the day as fluid moves out of the leg, then it's able to dynamically adapt to that change before someone needs to feel a difference and actually make a change themselves.
Amazing. And I guess in terms of just to sort of wrap up for today, what would you say is something that the London community should know about your business or about Isoform or about where you're at? What would you love the London community to know?
Absolutely. So we are located here in London. I was born and raised in London, so very proud of the fact that we've stayed local. And we're actually located at Western University. There's a BioNext incubator there. So shout out to that community and all the support we've gotten there. And of course, through Tech Alliance as well. There's lots of great local communities that you can lean into if you want to start a company yourselves. And we're moving towards some user testing. So if there's anyone that's interested in trying the device, they should definitely reach out to me.
Amazing. So we'll definitely put your website up and
Please.
Information so people know how to reach you. And really amazing to have watched this journey and excited to see the next couple years of the journey as well, because I know they're going to be incredible.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Well, we've loved having you along for the ride.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming. We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Your happy place. Easy 1013, the perfect music mix.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed outside all sleeping areas.
Don't let the silent killer get you. Install working CO alarms today.
My name is Ryan Dyson, and I drive the number 28 race car at Delaware Speedway and across Ontario all summer long. You can check out our YouTube vlog series right here on Rogers TV every Friday at 6 o'clock p.m.
Was that 4 or 5? He's lost count and still thinks he can drive. Do you think he knows that when he is caught and charged with impaired driving, he'll lose his license and a lot more? If he gets in his car, he'll face costs exceeding $20,000. Does he realize he could have a criminal record for his choice to drive? And it could be much worse if he crashes. Wonder what he'll be thinking tomorrow.
Have a hold on one at 15.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Welcome back. Established in 1990, the London and District Business Hall of Fame supports the work of Junior Achievement Southwestern Ontario, recognizing outstanding contributions and ethics in business. Hall of Fame laureates are nominated and selected by respected members of the London and District business community. Joining us today to talk about this year's event are Karen Gallant, President and CEO of Junior Achievement, and Angela Abdullah, co-chair of the LBHF Committee for Junior Achievement. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming. So why don't we start with a little bit about the event that's coming up and tell us a little bit about the dinner.
Well, I always like to think of it as London's signature event. This is an opportunity to recognize the business leaders that have helped to grow our community, and all of the money raised helps to support Junior Achievement. So this year we're honoring Steve Kopp from Kopp's Build-All and Ryan Finch of the Finch Auto Group.
Amazing.
And we're thrilled to have them. They truly live up to the standards that we look for in our laureates.
That's amazing. And are there certain things that you do look for in the laureates, like when you're looking at who you're going to honor each year?
Yes, absolutely. It's, you know, what have they done with their business? But more importantly, how do they lead other people? What do they give back to the community? And, you know, how they help the next generation and motivate them.
Amazing, which makes sense for Junior Achievement
Absolutely.
to look for that next generation. So, Karen, did you want to talk a little bit about what Junior Achievement does and why this event is so important to the organization?
Sure. So Junior Achievement delivers different learning experiences for youth in grades 4 to 12, all based around financial health, work readiness, and entrepreneurship. So we really do try to help young people develop the skill set and mindset to build thriving economies and communities, whether that's in a business sector or in skilled trades, whatever path they pursue. We want to help them be successful and develop some of those core skills that they need for lifelong success and community leadership. And so having the LBHF and the laureates act as role models, mentors to the young people, it's a fantastic link between what we do and our mission and the event itself.
That's amazing. And so are typically laureates people who have mentored youth within the community? Like, do those things tend to go hand to hand?
Sometimes, not always. It's not a requirement of being inducted, but often what we find with the laureates is they are mentors, whether it's to young people or whether it's to young professionals just coming into their industry, sharing advice and wisdom based on their own experience and helping them navigate some of those challenges that we all encounter.
So just thinking about the work that you're doing at JA, which is absolutely incredible, and so much of it aligns with things that that I know I hear from other parents like myself, that kids aren't learning in school and they're not getting those skills. So can you maybe touch a little bit on why those skills are so important to young people to learn?
Society faces so many problems, right? Poverty, homelessness, food insecurity, youth unemployment, it goes on, environmental crises and so on. And JA is really a proactive part of the solution. Those are complex problems for us to solve and to tackle. JA really lays some of those foundational elements to help the next generation avoid some of the challenges that would see them, face homelessness, food insecurity, and so on, by giving them the sense of what kind of career do you want to have? How do you need to pursue that career, whether that's education, volunteerism, engagement, whatever that looks like. We also help them learn about how you earn money, how you save money, how you spend money, how you make those decisions. So some of those really basic budgeting skills so that they can learn to live within their means, how to invest and save and earn some dollars and create that really meaningful life for themselves. So
amazing.
We do have, you may be familiar that the Ontario Ministry of Education has recently announced some changes to the high school curriculum, and JA's programs dovetail so nicely into all of that. We can be a huge support for teachers as they determine how best to support the students in school in achieving those learning outcomes.
That's amazing. And how can people get information about either the event or Junior Achievement? Where can they find that?
They can find it online at jaswo.org. That's our homepage on our website. And then from there, you can go and learn about programs, volunteering, supporting through the London and District Business Hall of Fame table and ticket purchases, or just donating.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you both for coming in today, and I will see you at the dinner.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mario Elia, host of Keeping London Healthy here on Rogers TV. Join us Wednesdays at 6:30 where we discuss health topics relevant to you and bringing on experts in the field to give you the best, most up-to-date information. See you then.
On the next issue of Fanatics...
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdsville, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Welcome back. Our next guests are here to share the story of the incredible journey from script writing to prize winning and her aspiration to film locally as a way to bring more opportunities to London. We will learn about who Dudley is and how one duck can help us learn about love and acceptance. Please welcome author Barbara Hamilton and her daughter Lexi to the show. Welcome to you both.
Oh, thanks so much for having us here.
We're so glad that you're here.
Thank you.
So I'm very curious to learn about this new book and your book that you've written.
Yeah, so this is my latest book that I've written, I Am Me, I Am Dudley. It was inspired by an actual duck that we rescued a few years ago. It was part of our family, and I decided to write and illustrate the book with, of course, input from my daughter Lexi. Lexi's actually one of the main characters in the book, along with a couple of our dogs and Dudley. The main point of the book is just a story about acceptance and to point out that we're all unique, and no matter what, despite our differences, love makes a family. It's love that defines us, and it defines us as a family. So it's just yeah, it's just a nice little heartwarming story. It's a very, ages for the book is about age 2 to about 5 or 6 level. And I just thought, you know, it would be nice to get it out there, and yeah.
Amazing. And I know you've got a cause connected to the book that that's even more incredible. So do you want to share a little bit about that?
For sure. From now until Christmas, we thought that we would like to donate 100% of the proceeds to the Children's Hospital here in London.
Amazing.
So, yeah, and so I know it's too early for Christmas, but it would make a wonderful Christmas gift or birthday gift or anything from here on out. So
we have lots of friends who are shopping for Christmas already.
And there's lots of people with children, so I thought, you know, it's a wonderful way to kind of give back to our community and kids that are in need and sick over the holidays and stuff too.
That's awesome. So, how can people get the book?
The book is for sale on Amazon currently. I'm also having a book signing in St. Thomas at Lockwood Books on October 12th. Between 12 and 2. It's on a Saturday of the Thanksgiving long weekend. And you can come and get either, if you purchased a copy, I will sign it, or you can come and get signed copies there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk a little bit about that, because you're promoting a second book at that event as well, correct?
That's right, yes. So my second book is called In the Name of Love and Light. It's actually a pandemic-inspired book. I wrote it during the pandemic, kind of as during the lockdown, something to kind of do. So it's a crime thriller drama, which takes place in rural Scotland. And currently, it's just, it explores whether someone can really commit the perfect crime. And it's book 1 of a series of 3.
Interesting.
Yep, and so from here, I wrote this. It's available on Amazon, Kindle, and Audible as well. And it will also have copies at Lockwood Books in St. Thomas as well, signed copies if anyone wants to get one. From there, I turned it into a feature film script.
Okay.
And I entered it into the Toronto International Women's Film Festival in 2023. And I ended up winning Best Scriptwriter, which I was really surprised.
Congratulations, that's amazing.
Thank you. And so we decided just locally that I'm producing a short this October based on the 2 main characters in the book. And then I'm also doing a feature film, which will be in pre-production. We're planning on 2025 into 2026 right now. So that's kind of where that's going. And I'm excited to bring everything local and do everything as locally as possible.
Amazing. I'm totally curious. Were you a writer prior to 2020, or was just inspired due to lockdown?
I've always been a closet writer from the time I was little, and I just decided once I got the idea for this series, it actually came to me. I was walking with Lexi actually. At one of the graveyards on Springbank, and I just got the whole idea for the whole series in my head, and I just started writing. So I've always been a writer. It was from this point that I got like the beginning to the end in my head, so I decided to go ahead and write it and publish it myself. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I know people can get the books on Amazon and they can come and see you at the bookstore.
Yes.
Do you have a website or any other information that for how people can track you down?
There is a Facebook page called In the Name of Love and Light.
Awesome.
So if there's any like updates as well. I also have an author page on there as well on Facebook called Barbara L. Hamilton.
Amazing.
So it'll just have any updates as well.
That's great. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us today.
Thank you.
And we'll definitely get the word out. And it's really great trying to keep it local and doing everything here. So thank you for that.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thanks, Lexi. We'll be right back.
Even 30 years ago, we never had very many high school graduates or post-secondary graduates, or people weren't pursuing their dreams, if you will. And now there's lots of our youth out there. They're really killing it in terms of, being on not only at the local level, but at the world level. They're competing and winning. So it's really nice to see our youth up there in those places. It's good to see that because they're being supported by their family, and that's one thing that is important for our community is that we make sure that we hold our youth up and they be supported not only by family but by community as well.
Hey, you want to see a show on Rogers TV that doesn't feature any human stars? Well, you've come to the right place. Watch Crumpet Corner, this brand new show full of laughs and weirdness, chaos.
Welcome back. Today's final guest has had an incredible journey as an artist, and she now shares that journey through a number of events in London. She uses art to mentor youth, to bring healing, and to bring community together. She is not a stranger to Rogers TV either. Please join me in welcoming Brona Morgan to the show. Welcome to the show.
Well, it is great being on this set on the other side of the studio.
On the opposite side.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. So I know you've got a really cool story and a really neat journey. So why don't we start a little bit with that?
All right. So I am not a academically trained artist. I've always loved making art. I did go to grade 13, or OAC it was called back then, and I did take art, and that's kind of the last art class I ever took in my life. So fast forward, I went to law school. I worked in the law for a while, and I still do that. I still work in the law as a non-practicing lawyer, so I'm an editor and a writer and a legal educator. But so I think we all remember this big thing that happened in 2020, which was, how you couldn't leave your house, and everybody was spending a lot of time with their family. And at that time, I had a preteen and a child, and we needed things to do. Mm-hmm. So one of the things we decided to do was get a box of chalk from the dollar store and start drawing on the driveway. It became really popular in the neighborhood because, like I said, we didn't have a lot of other things that we could do with our time other than just walk around with the people that we know. And so our neighbors enjoyed it and started making requests. We started taking pictures of our art, and so we would get requests from people far away to do some art and take a picture and post it online. Lo and behold, this turned into a career for me. So since 2021, I've been working for London Arts Council. I first started while the pandemic was still in full swing, just doing some chalk art in parks around the city to give people something, oh my gosh, what a great surprise when you're out for a walk with your family or your little group that you had your bubble with. And from there, I have been now doing live painting of murals for London Arts Council, as well as doing events where I'm a face paint artist, as well as working in their fantastic Belong program. So I started out as a mentee, and now I'm a mentor for 2 youth artists.
Amazing.
Who us 3 get together, we plan lessons, and we get together with different community centers and do art lessons and collaborating and sharing with people all over the city, and so many other things. I work for Art Gallery of Lambeth teaching a class this fall, and I'm going to also be working with VON doing an art class which is called Healing Through Art for bereaved people. So it has turned into, you know, late in life and not even starting out this way and not going to school for this, my absolute favorite career that I have had throughout my life.
And how inspiring to just be able to bring joy and happiness and all of these things to people through something that you just love.
Absolutely. Like, I think some people, maybe they have this idea that I have to work my whole life and have fun on the off days, or is it possible to find your passion? And I am living proof that you can be 49 years old and all of a sudden it's there. You can achieve this at any time of your life. And I cannot say how much I appreciate London Arts Council for the opportunities that's giving me, but also everybody that kind of interacts with me when I'm doing live art. It's just, we're all contributing together and building community that way. It's an absolute joy.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I'm curious a little bit about the live art piece. Like, what is that? Would obviously be like the face painting side of things, but what else are you doing live?
So I do live chalk art at festivals.
Okay.
So I've done a couple this fall. I got to go to Buffalo, and the day, I'm a huge Bills fan,
Okay.
and so I got to, the day ahead of the home opener, participate in a big chalk art festival that was part of, you know, kind of a rally for people who are super excited about, and we did win that game, which was awesome, so I feel like I was a part of that. Bayfield is another one, a big street art festival that is, September 22nd was the date of that, as well as opportunities that come up for different festivals or different events in London. People enjoy seeing people create art.
Definitely.
And so I love the interaction. I got to work at Storybook Gardens all summer long. I always bring tons of chalk, so sometimes I'll have kids or kids of any age really drawing with me and getting engaged in the art as well. It's a workout. You're outside, right? So I do love to, like, cold plank position while I'm drawing. I do love to get a little sun and just meet people in the community and really encourage people to just make art. Like I said, I'm not formally trained, but I think there is so much to be said for just like picking up materials. It doesn't matter what they are. Some of my chalk comes from the dollar store. Some of it comes from charcoal or pieces of wood that we found at the beach.
That's amazing.
Right?
How can people find you?
So I have a website, which is allthings.bybrona.com. You can find me on social media, so I think my handles are probably going to get posted as well. You can find me coming up in London at different events that London Arts Council will post online. So you can look on Facebook for those kind of events or stay in touch with London Arts Council. Sometimes there's events on Dundas Place. Wherever there are movie in the parks, wherever there are people that are having fun outside and like an artist could contribute, whether or not I'm, you know, hired on to do that, sometimes I just weasel in.
Awesome.
Just
We will
volunteer.
definitely get it all posted so that people can find you
Absolutely.
and can follow you. Thank you so much for bringing joy to London.
Oh,
I love
thank
it.
you for having me.
Well, that is a wrap. Thank you for watching and for listening. I encourage you to support the efforts of our guests by liking, commenting, and sharing this episode of What's Up London with your friends, family, and networks. Please visit our guests' websites and social media pages and plan to attend their events. Until I see you again, be safe and be kind.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
On the next issue of Fanatics.